Hello, cellos. It's Miss Gretchen here. Welcome to my studio. Today we're going to talk about second position. What second position is going to do for us is it's going to get us one note higher on all of the strings. We're specifically going to talk about it on the A string. So that means that D is my highest note now. Once I've gotten to second position, I'm going to be able to go up to the E on the A string. So how it works is that where our fourth finger is right now, that's where our second finger goes to. You could look at it a different way. Where my third finger is, that's where my first finger goes to. Now, the important part about this, I'll see if I can show you from the back, is when I shift, watch my thumb. My thumb and my hand all go together. It isn't fingers go and then the thumb says, oh, I'll come along. Or my thumb's going to go and then my fingers are going to come. They all go as a unit up and down the cello. So try that going up and down your cello. Don't hold down any fingers, just moving your whole hand up and down together. Great. So that's the feel you want to have when you actually start doing the second position shift. So what's going to happen is if I move my first finger up to where my third was, and I'm just going to move the whole hand up, none of this squishy things. Whole hand goes together. That's going to get my first finger on C sharp, my second finger on D, and my fourth finger on E. They're all a half step apart, so there's space between all of them. So let's look at the handout that you have. It's on the screen. The first, we're going to go through number 1 through 4, maybe 5 and 6, and then we'll do the songs in a different video. So I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to play open A, first finger. Now my first finger is going to scoot up to 1, whole hand together. Second finger's on D. Now, this is a little confusing. They're telling you to put your fourth finger on E, and for some reason they've decided that they should write down the C sharp underneath it. You're not going to play the C sharp. Just an oddity of this book. So we play our fourth finger for our E, back to our D with a 2, and our 1 with a C sharp. Whole hand goes back to B. Right. Now the next one goes through and it's the same thing. It just changes the rhythm a little bit. So we have to think a tiny bit quicker. So it's going to be, I'm on number 2, open, 1, scoot up to C sharp, 2 for D, 4 for E, 4 for E again, 4 for E, D2, C sharp 1, B1, scoot back, and open A. Once again, if it shows 2 notes at one time, you're playing just the top one. It's a funny thing about this book. So all those places in number 2 there, you're going to be playing just the E that's on the very top. Let's practice that slide one time, that shift going up. So I'm going to go from 1 to 1. Try that a couple times, going from the 1 up to the C sharp. Once you've got that down, they'll all go quite smoothly. So you can practice that separately. Now looking at number 3, number 3 starts to skip all over the place. So you would probably don't want to go onto this until number 1 and 2 are comfortable. Now they do something else on here, and I'm just going to go through these because it's a good exposure to second position. So on my A string, when I went up into second position, my second finger was on the D, right? Now if I move my hand over to the D string, my second finger is now on the G. My first finger is on what? It's on an F sharp. Now my fourth finger, it is on an A. So let's just to figure that much out, let's skip down to number 4, and then we'll go back to the one that does all the skipping around. So number 4 does very similar things to 1 and 2, but on the D string. So we're starting with our open D and a 1 for E. Move up to F sharp with a 1, 2 with the G, A is a 4, G is a 2, A is a 4, G is a 2, A is a 4, 2, 1, shift back to first position. That's a good one to practice next. Practice it without the slurs if you need to in the beginning. The slurs aren't the important part. The slurs were just there for variety. Now that we know all of those notes in number 1 and number 4, let's go on to number 3 and let's see how number 3 is going to work. So we're going to start at our open D. So this is all on the D string. It just skips around. So open D, 3. Now as I shift to second position, up to a G on the 2, 1 for F sharp, A with 2, 4, G with 2, back to first, open D, up to second position with an F sharp, 4, 4, 2. I'm going to play through that one more time, and this time I'm not going to say anything about the fingering because you have them written there. And it'll be a good thing for you to be able to go back and play later and hear that you're playing the right notes. 3, 4. Nice. Okay, so that was a little bit faster, so that's kind of like your challenge. You could also go down and play number 5 and number 6. There's the big thing to remember is that your 1's going up to where 3 was, or you might be thinking your 2's going up to where 4 goes. But the thing to remember is that thumb back here, he comes right along. He doesn't get left behind on either the shift down or the shift up. He comes right with it. The whole hand's going like this, like running it up and down and pull. I hope that this is helpful for you. I'm going to do another video that talks about the songs at the bottom.